Hello, hello. Last Sunday in April, moving into May. Yay! Part of why I love it so much is I love it when the summer flowers come out and they're just so beautiful. And I just love looking at how in New England we travel through the different seasons and they're so beautiful. All right, I'm going to start by spraying some lovely Metatron spray around me. Making sure you're always closing your eyes so you don't get this in your field. Or not in your field, sorry, in your eyes. I love using different sprays, and I know I've been into oils for a very long time. I actually took aromatherapy training, I don't even know how long ago, a very long time ago in New York City. And not a lot of people really knew back then the power of oils and what they do, but I love them. I love using oils. I love making oils. We don't often use our sensory or our senses often enough. And yet when we're talking about breathing in, and how many times do you go somewhere, you're walking down a street, especially like in New York or something, in the sewers, and you get a smell of something you don't like, you're reminded of your senses then. But when we are walking by a bakery and we get these great smells coming out, all the things we probably shouldn't be eating, but you know, just being in that place of, wow, this smells really good, and starting to recognize how we can really use our nose. Because, you know, I remember hearing an old saying, the nose knows, right? The nose, N-O-S-E, knows, K-N-O-W-S. And you can change your mood, the mood of the room, your environment, just from putting some oils on or using an atomizer or whatever in your room to have this going. And especially if you live with a lot of people, if you have a big family and they all live with you, you know, there's always, it's almost like we're taking turns. Okay, this person's upset today or is off, and now tomorrow it's me or the other person. And so what I like to do is have this burning in the background, putting a few drops in and being able to really watch how it changes the room. Now, I'm not attached to whether you use doTERRA or Young Living or any of the gazillion companies out there that are doing good with these oils. But use, you know, and sometimes we need to use what we have. We don't want to spend a lot of money. Some of these really good brands are very expensive. And we may be in a place that I don't have that kind of money to spend, because I have spent, I would say, up to about $70 on a bottle of oil that's this big, okay? And they last and they're worth it to me, but not everybody has the money to be using it in that way. So there is a difference in oils from you just going to whatever store and picking up a lavender oil that's like, oh my God, it's only $8. There's a saying, you get what you pay for, and you should really know whether you're using essential oils and what is really good for you. Now, there's oils that have their names like lavender and patchouli and all of those. And then we have mixture oils that help us, peace and calming, that help us with different things. And I like to, what I call, layer. So if I'm working on something, say I have an issue with, I don't know, pain in my back. So I'll take the supplements I need to take. That's like layer. I'll use the oils that are good for the back and know where to put them. That's another layer. I might do Reiki on it or energy work, which is another layer. And I might decide to get on the floor and stretch. We're working at it from all different layers. And what I like to look at is the emotional, the physical, and the spiritual layers. So, you know, if I might also go to Louise Hay, or I have a book that I use that is even better, gets into if you have a hangnail on your ring finger on the left hand, what it means, and it's so accurate. So I might read about it to find out, okay, how did this get created? What is this about? And I would read, well, if you have a low back pain in this spot, it's whatever, something from the past, we'll say. And I'm going to read about that because mentally I want to clear that if I know what it is, right? Then I'm looking at the emotional component. You know, where am I at emotionally? If I'm all worried about this and I think I'm going to have surgery or whatever, then I'm going to use something that tells me relax, release, balance, you know? And I just happen to absolutely love oils and sprays and tinctures and all of that. And so I use them every day in every way possible. Put them in the bathtub. And it's sending those, it's like a subliminal. It's just going in, you know, relax, relax, let go, whatever it is. So it's important to be in control of these times that we feel we're all over the place. We've all had physical stuff. And sometimes, to me, the emotional component can be worse than anything else. So if I want to shift on the emotional level, I am going to look for an oil that I love the smell of and that I'm going to put on me. And most of these have directions that you can look up in terms of where to place it on you for the best results. So one of the oils that I absolutely love the smell of is jasmine. Jasmine has such a beautiful smell. And if I want to uplift my spirits emotionally, I'll breathe in jasmine. And jasmine, I don't know if you know, but jasmine is the oil of the goddess. And so I wear that a lot and I put that on and it's like, it just uplifts me. It can be a little pricey, but it's really good. I remember being in California and I always loved jasmine smell. And I went out there years ago to do a friend of mine's wedding. And it was in the summer. And when I woke up in the room one day, all I could smell is jasmine. And I looked outside and the whole yard was blooming with jasmine. What a smell. So, you know, if you have something to connect it to, now I do. I think of that day that I woke up and that smell was all in the room and how it just uplifted me. Also making blends for something that you desire, or using your intuition to have you make a blend. And so sometimes I don't even look at them. I stick, and anybody that's been in my healing treatment room, they know I have about 300 oils in there. And sometimes I'll just reach in and pull one and say, okay. I'll breathe it in. I take a drop. Whoops. I need another drop, sorry. I take a drop on each wrist. I do this. I breathe it in. I put it in my energy field. Now, for those of you that work in stressful environments, say you're not working at home and you're at a very stressful environment or you're very busy, have that oil around. And this doesn't go away. Essential oils you don't wash off. They wear off. So you just can breathe it in all day long, which sends the message to the limbic system of the brain that says, okay, chill. Also, if you're allowed to, you could burn in one of those atomizers couple drops, but you want to be careful not to put too much in there. A couple little drops, so you're not making everybody else having to breathe it in if somebody's sensitive to smells. And then just allow that to permeate through you, to change the mood, and to see what happens here. Okay. So we're going to move in. No, I want to do this first. Okay. I'm going to move into the last Sunday in April. We're going to start with the Metatron deck. What does everybody need to know for the last Sunday in April and the week beyond? Conquering fear, start today. It's an angel helping a young adult here, and she's braced on her. Almost looks like there's something wrong with her and she can't walk, so she's holding on to the angel. Let's see what this says. Fear makes you feel small, fragile, threatened, and unable to take the next steps. You may also feel isolated, and yet you are not alone. Many angels surround you, wishing to help you. So often, though, you forget to call on them, and when you do ask, you doubt that they have heard you, and so you ask again and again, weakening your own faith that they are actually there. Yet angels have been around you since you were first born. They herald your arrival, have celebrated your successes, and tried to pick you up when you have failed or been hurt or needed their care and love. They remind you that you have already accomplished and conquered many things and have already survived and grown stronger. This new fear around you now has arisen out of your own shadow side. It is the side of you that mistakenly thinks it keeps you safe by staying exactly where you are, never trying anything new, and always maintaining status quo. It is, however, an illusion. These feelings and negative voices in your head say, I can't or I won't. They are just an energetic block that can be broken through proclaiming, I will and I can. That which seems so difficult now needs to be taken a step at a time, broken down in achievable chunks and made comfortable to you so you can cross each stepping stone with growing confidence and trust. So one thing I want to say here as a coach is that we always have to take little baby steps, right? If we're trying to climb up a mountain, it's the baby steps that get you there. Metatron sends his angelic helpers. They will stay with you day and night, urging you on, taking each step with you, yet not doing it for you, since you need to investigate each one yourself. They are here because you have called out for help, and so they have responded as they always do. Feel their presence around you now. Let them help you breathe into your fear and allow it to dissolve into the light. See the safety net they've placed beneath you. You will not be allowed to fall, but long before you even would have fallen to the net, you would have found that you could fly. Feeling the safety of blue light around you and the care of your angelic helpers, know that you can do what is asked of you now, and maybe a new job, a new life stage, leaving the safety of home, learning something new, or traveling somewhere different. All fears are understood and can be healed. No fear is too small or too great to bring up now for healing. Ask what it is that you are truly frightened of, and some of you will hear my own shadow as the response. Make peace within the parts of you that have been programmed to feel fear. Some fear is instinctive, and some is learned from social and family patterns. Some may also have come in from past life experience, but no fear is incapable of being healed with angelic support and light. Now is the moment for you to face your fear. See it as actually smaller than you thought it was. Take action. Create positive energy around you and take the first step away from it. Doing so will give you a sense of achievement and pride. Congratulations, and a pat on the back awaits you. Do it today. You will feel better for doing so. So what calls to my mind is that every time we go to take a big jump, a leap, we want to change jobs, relationships, move, whatever it is, we start to doubt ourselves, like, oh my God, can I really do this? And all your fear comes up every time you go to take a jump. And the good news is that everybody who has ever taken a big leap has had fear. Oprah has had fear. She was told that she didn't have what it takes originally to have a show. And look at what happened. She proved them wrong. This is much like that. When fear comes up, it just means we haven't done it yet. We're afraid. And with the help of the angels supporting us and holding us up, we can get to where we want to be. Okay, Lightworker Oracle. These want to be spread out for some reason. This one says initiation by air. And it's funny because she's got this bright energy coming out of her heart, and there's all these white birds that look like they're either coming into her or going out from her. And birds definitely represent the element of air. You have a strong and powerful mind. The mind can be a great asset. It brings comfort, peace, and strength as you to take your spiritual journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart and keeping you trapped in fear. The mind developed without a loving spiritual practice can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How would you choose to use your mind? Wow, so we have a theme here. There's fear this week coming up. I'm going to read the invocation. I call upon the unconditionally loving ones to help me empty and refresh my mind, renewed in eternal love. May I express my freedom in making wise decisions that create joy and love me in the world. I ask for divine mercy, compassion, protection, and instruction to assist me in bringing my mind into loving consciousness. May the light of the divine shine unobstructed through my mind, bringing peace to the world. May the unconditionally loving helpers of humanity help bring light, healing, and joy to the minds of all. Through my own free will, so be it. What a beautiful invocation. You might want to write that down, keep pausing it to get that. And as I look at this, she's standing on a cliff looking below. Well, not looking below. She's not looking below. She's got her eyes closed and her head up to the divine. But air is always the mind. So she's asking for help to get out of that. All right, the Animal Oracle. Oh, this is pretty. We have red-crowned crane, and it says loyalty. Look at that beautiful card. The crane looks like it is, oh, I see. The crane is carrying this beautiful goddess, supporting her shoulders, her head, and she's flying over the mountain with the goddess. This actually is the goddess. And it says loyalty. The time has come to re-examine your loyalties. Are you able to be trusted? Keep your word if you give it. Take relationships slowly and make sure to build strong connections. What promises have you made and must keep? And then it just tells about the animal, but the magic is, crane magic is about loyalty and steadfastness. In this world of instant gratification and short attention spans, perhaps the idea of loyalty is beginning to be a lost ideal. The graceful crane teaches us that remaining steadfast to those who deserve it is a positive ideal and something to treasure. Thinking carefully about our promises and keeping our word means that we become people to be trusted by others and ourselves. Isn't that beautiful? Symbology, the color red, dancing, feathers, and weaving. So this, I just, again, see support here as the crane is supporting the goddess. And she's just surrendering to it. So how beautiful is that? All right, Moonology. The end of a tough cycle approaches. And it's full moon in Capricorn. Shows the ram on here with the full moon. How hard are you willing to work for what you want? This card is reminding you that effort is required. Work issues may be about to come to a head when this card comes up. If you are wondering if you should stay in your job or leave, this card can be a strong sign to make an exit. The end of a rough time. The card also asks you to reconsider how ambitious you are and whether you're prepared to pull out all the stops to make your professional dreams come true without being ruthless. With a love question, this card can be a call to face reality. Whatever the situation you're asking about, make a plan. Making a plan will help. If your personal life is troubled, prioritize more. So it says that the teaching is the full moon in Capricorn has a very strong work ethic and energy and will more than likely come up when you're asking a professional question. If your question is about another matter, it will serve as a much needed reminder to move through any feelings of hopelessness you may have been feeling around your situation. This applies no matter when you draw the card. Making a plan is a far better use of your time. So amazing. It's telling you, look at what's not working in your life and put an end to it by taking action. So again, we have support this week to make the changes, to know we're supported, to call on the angels and our medicine animals, and to make the shift. Next one, work your light. Warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Nice. She is strong. She's got that sword right in front of her. Love this. She is solid. I'm hearing that song, Solid Like a Rock. Warrior woman. You are here for a reason. You are being called to bravely pave a path. Have you answered your highest and deepest calling? Living a heart and soul-led life is not all fluffy and smooth sailing. Living a heart and soul-led life requires courage to triumph over fear. So often our fears are the gatekeepers to our greatest gifts, and the more resistance we have towards answering a call, the more important it is to follow through for our soul's growth. Sometimes fear is an indication that we are facing the right way. Joan of Arc was known for her courage and her famous line, "I'm not afraid, I was born to do this." But the thing about courage is that it is not possible without fear. So if you're feeling afraid, what is needed is courage, and courage comes from living from the heart. Think of your fears as opportunities to expand rather than things that are holding you hostage. If you look at your fears in this light, then as uncomfortable as it might be, it's actually a sign that you are on the right track. So what's this saying? To me, here we have a theme of fear again. We've had several cards, and I remember last week we had a theme as well. Well, we have a theme this week with moving beyond our fears and knowing if we have fears, we are moving in the right direction. So it just says hold firm and, you know, feel the fear and do it anyways. Last card from the Starseed Oracle. Messenger, Sirius energy, as in the star system, Sirius, bringing harmony and balance. This is beautiful. I love Rebecca Campbell's decks anyways. They're just gorgeous. All right, Messenger. Let's see. You're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to seed the light, the crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius, others appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony. To ensure greater balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that all the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. You're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on Earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. Their unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide. It's a resurgence of the sacred within us all, a returning to oneness. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honor and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself and others. So here it is. We've come as a messenger of peace and love and joy. But what the other thing that's coming to me this week is also look for messages and messengers from the other side coming through, whether it's your master teachers, angels, or guides, or whether it is a loved one from the other side, and trust what comes. So it's very interesting. They're saying we have a lot of help this week. We have our angels, our master teachers and guides. We have what we need. We've got the sword of truth, being a warrior, coming at this time and letting the energy support us. And remembering the moon card that said the end of a tough cycle approaches. We want to be done with the things that are tough. So make the changes you need to make in order to grow in harmony with your divine purpose. Have a wonderful week and keep all this in mind. And again, feel the fear and just move through it. Thank you.